Why, happy Sunday. Let's talk about the hoe next door, shall we? So everyone's like, Anna Nicole Smith, that's hilarious. It's like it is until it isn't. If you're going to suck cock for a living, please give them the right address. So we live in a geriatric community, for the love of God. So why would you buy property here if you're going to be a brothel? So I love that they knocked on my door the first day. Excuse me. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So very interesting. She also loves to hustle new people. She's like, oh, you need furniture? I have some. She puts it on your porch, okay? You think it's a gift. And then she's like, $350. Meh! And it's like, bitch, I didn't even want this fucking chair. But okay. So I can't wait to move. But anyway, happy Sunday, fun day. Let's talk about crack today, shall we? So I watched the Lamar documentary, For the Love of God. How did this man get crack when he just rose from a coma? He had no cell phone. He had nobody there. He was out of touch with all of his friends. He was like isolated, couldn't walk, couldn't talk. But somehow he sat up and was smoking crack. So it reminded me of a family member of mine who smoked crack for 10 years. I'm not going to tell you who because I have a lot of druggies in my family. So on my dad's side. So I'll never forget one time I was like, what is this beautiful glass pipe? My dad's like, God damn it. He's smoking crack again. I was like 7 years old. I was like, it's so pretty. It looks like artwork. It was for crack. So he then would come over and try to fuck all my babysitters. Like 10 minutes before they leave, he'd be like, hello, guys. How are you guys doing? You're beautiful. Guys meaning because we had twin babysitters at one point. So all of my babysitters were super hot and he tried to fuck them all. So maybe he was on crack, maybe he wasn't. But it made me remember all the druggies I've dated because, you know, I have great taste in men. I'd like to thank my dad for that. We learn from our environment. Let's just put it that way. When people aren't around, you don't have a lot of examples. So no shame in the game, I'm just saying. I didn't have a great picker. Nothing to really say, wow, that looks like love. So I just guessed and I fucked up like 250 times. So cheers. A couple other things that happened to me this week before I get into the drug addicts that I dated that I didn't know did drugs. If you're going to send me Western Union, okay, I'm saying this because it's a court-ordered financial thing, and you've known me for 10 years. Please know my name, okay? How do you not know my name? Is this a fucking joke? So only 9,900 more to go. Dollars. If you're gonna literally send me Western Union, please know my name, for God's sakes. I went in there, they're like, this is incorrect. What a shit show. For $50, I had to drive around town, show them my ID. What the fuck? So just send it all, and then we can be done, okay? Court ordered. So also, if someone's going to show me $30,000 in cash and say, hey, if you didn't pay rent for a year, this is what it would look like, I don't need to see that unless you're giving me that money for myself. So I don't need to see the money that you have. It only matters to me if you give it to me. So for free with no expectations. If that's not the exchange, I don't need to see that. That's called torture and it's a little mean, okay? Look at all the money I have and you don't have because you're in poverty. Meh! Yeah, so those are just two little, things to look out for in case any of you guys are experiencing this. Also, Western Union seems super shady. To me, it's like, what are you hiding? So just get a bank account like everybody else. Zelle, Venmo, right? Unless you're up to doing something you shouldn't be, again. Anyway, maybe he can delete my YouTube channel again. Thank you for that. Thank you for erasing the 2 million views. Appreciate you. So, but anyway, speaking of crack, okay, there was a woman in the nursing home that I used to work at, and she had crack hidden in her wig, okay? She had it hidden. And when the police came, because we had to call the police, she was like, it was sprinkling down on her face, okay? She was like, that's not crack. That's not crack. She's like, that's Tylenol. So, nice try. They look extremely different. So, she was like, can I keep it though? No, you cannot. So, hand over the crack. But anyway, let's talk about the drug addicts that I fucked, because my taste is terrible, okay? Let's start with the very beginning, my first real boyfriend. We're just going to do 2 states. We're going to do Ohio and Columbus, okay? And then I'm going to talk to you guys how they are in bed, all right? So my first boyfriend loved mushrooms and tripping on acid. I had no idea he was tripping. I was like, why is he giggling so much? Why does he keep falling over? I had no idea what was going on. I was so stupid. I was 16 and dumb, okay? I was just a gymnast, right? I was a gymnast. I was like, why is he always seeing things? Meh! I had no idea, okay? And this man would fuck forever. The first time we had sex, supposedly it was like his first or second time, we went for like 2 hours. What in the hell is going on over there? Right. And then he went and told my mom. He's like, I'm addicted to drugs. I'm like, do you ever want me to see you again? So, his dad was super fucking hot. I would fuck his dad today. So, just a little side note. The second drug addict that I got involved with, he failed 9th grade, I don't know, 100 times. Maybe that should have been my signal. I was like, ooh, I love a bad boy. Red flags just hitting me in the face. Musician, of course, could play anything except for he didn't know how to go to school or do his work. He was smoking weed, tripping, doing acid, doing all the things. He literally, when we had sex, he pulled my foot behind my head because I was a gymnast, and he fucked me like this, and it pulled a muscle. And then he was like, I love you. And then he's like, you can go sleep on the couch. And he slept in his parents' bed. And then when I broke up with him, he was confused as to why. So, the failing 9th grade 100 times should have been a sign. So, like I said, didn't have a great picker, okay? The next one that I dated, he smoked a bunch of weed, got drunk all the time in high school, literally was wild, ended up going to college to play soccer. I ended up having a threesome with him in college, so I was like, I feel like he might be gay, even though he's married. I feel like there's many times I thought that he was gay, because in the threesome, it was with 2 men. So they started kissing. I'm like, maybe gay. So that was such a weird night. We had like a orgy in Worcester, Ohio. We went to this guy's house. We were like dumping like liquor all over us, licking it off. It was crazy. It was very crazy. And I got in the shower and there was 2 men and it was wild. I did not have sex with both of them, but that's a story for another day, okay? I got to get through these drug addicts, okay? Because there's so many. Literally, this is just Ohio and Columbus, okay? The next guy I met at Mickey's, where all your dreams come true. Please, if you guys go to Mickey's, you know what I'm talking about. It is literally, basically it was like a basement that smelled like sewage. I was a bartender there, and people would come in at literally 8 in the morning, and they would drink all day. They would black out. There was interventions in there. People would have interventions. Please don't do this anymore. Please. Ah, you're ruining your family. And then they would be like, fuck you guys. Give me another beer, Cassie. There's people eating pussy in the parking lot. I mean, it was crazy. But anyway, there was a guy that seemed relatively normal. And I was like, oh, he's cute. And he was a baseball player, and he has a job. So I didn't know he was addicted to fucking pain pills, literally. And he would just come in and do shots and drink beer every day. Again, that should have been a red flag, okay? But it wasn't. But when I tried to fuck him, let me tell you, His dick was like, he couldn't get that shit hard if I literally gave it CPR. I did not know that he was addicted to pain pills. Okay, I did not know that he took like 15 a day and then ended up having an intervention in the hospital. He had a trach later down the road. Okay, I just knew, wow, he's really nice and has a job. I didn't know he was on pain pills. I couldn't get that fucking cock hard if I tried. I literally got naked in his Jeep and tried to fuck him in the car outside of Johnny's. People were watching us. I was trying to get it. I couldn't get that thing to even get up. It was like, it was the pain pills. And then I was like, I shall try again. I tried again, same thing. It was like sitting on this, okay? Oh God, all right. The next person, Columbus, Ohio. I was like, oh my God, he has a job. He took me on a date. He paid for my 3 drinks, which was like $15. He's just such a winner. I'm like, he has his own apartment, for the love of God. He lost all of that within 7 days. He sure did. He lost all of it in a week. Lost it all. I was like, he's amazing. He manages being a parent. No, he didn't pay child support. He had a great apartment, lost that in 7 days. He tried to move in with me, okay? He moved in with me, drank my beer, played my guitar, and wouldn't work. I didn't know he was doing heroin. Shockingly enough, I found out he did heroin. He's kind of like internet famous now, and he makes all these songs about like, don't be a bitch. And it's like, why don't you make a song about how you did heroin and didn't pay me any rent money? So why don't you make that song famous? He's like, nobody likes a little bitch. You were the epitome of a little bitch. So write a song about that, okay? But he was like snorting heroin. What? I remember being like, oh wow, they're hiring. He's like, I can't be a dishwasher. The fuck you can't? Because you've been living here, drinking my beer, sitting in my apartment, doing nothing, okay? Are you crazy? And then I found out he was snorting it, and I'm like, get out. So he did not have issues with his cock. He was always able to have a hard dick. We fucked on my counter one time. On our first or second date, if only I knew now what I should have known then. I was just giving shit away for free, okay, to people who didn't deserve it. Like now it's like, excuse me, what do I get in return? You can pay me. By the way, I have a Patreon. And yes, I wear sexy clothes, and it's $7 a month, okay? And if you can't afford 23 cents a day, please don't even be on this channel. You shouldn't even be talking to a girl, guy, nobody, okay? But anyway, back in the day, I was just giving shit away for free. Giving head, loving people, you know, I love you, I want to save you, all the shit. I don't know what I was doing, okay? Because now I'd be like, no way in hell. So are you going to pay for my rent for a year? Anyway, I kicked him out and was like, see you later. Please go find work. Stop doing heroin. It's dangerous. So, but he had a very nice penis and he was always able to get it up. So that was a plus. And then there was the next one. He also did heroin. He was a bartender. Did I know this? I'm an idiot because I've never even done cocaine. So I didn't even know these people did this shit. I had no idea. I was like, they seem kind of fucked up and like they're sweating. But I had no idea. Okay, the next one. He was something else. He forgot to tell me when he said he was separated from his wife that meant he was separated by rooms. He lived in the living room and she lived upstairs. His penis was very small, but I was really trying to fight for it, okay? And then I realized he was an asshole, okay? So it was very small, and because he had anxiety because he was cheating and doing drugs, it really got hard, right? Again, I could have literally sucked the shit out of that. I could have said, we're making a porn, baby. I'm going to rev all my shit. And it still wouldn't get hard because he, and his mind was like, I'm still married. Oh my God, I'm on heroin, man. And he wasn't telling me any of that. So I had a very hard time getting his dick hard, okay? But sometimes it would happen. And then I was on the Nova ring. And I didn't know you could like pull that shit out. So I just left it in and it would get caught on his cock and like shred it like it was in like a cheese shredder or meat grinder. So that was a whole nother thing. But then he's like, oops, I'm still married. And then I threw a shoe at him, okay? Went into his bar, took about 13 shots, told him to go fuck himself. So, again, he was on heroin. I'm like, when do these people have the time for this? Like, when do they have the time to do these drugs? I don't even have time to literally go get my oil changed. And you guys have time to do heroin on the side? So I find that interesting, okay? But stay away from people that prioritize drugs because they don't prioritize you. And typically, they're not even good in bed, okay? If you're like, why are they hallucinating? Probably drugs. If it's not a medical issue, okay? They're not going to be dynamite in bed. Some people on cocaine either can't get it up or they fuck all night, okay? That's a whole nother drug for another day that I can talk about because I dated a lot of that in Chicago. I didn't know about that. I was from Worcester, Ohio, you guys, like a small cow town where like we drank all the time, but that's it. I smoked cigarettes, till I was 22, but like I didn't know about this hard shit, okay? I did not know. But anyway, don't do crack, okay? It'll fuck your brain up. Don't do cocaine because they'll probably lace it with fentanyl, and go have some good sex because all of these drugs does not make you a good lover, okay? Have a great Sunday.